Good example, because what we now do is, once we've analyzed all the boxes, and you see the 8 boxes, all I need is the number of that box, which is a number of the key to open the box to get the energy out, put it to one side, and get all 8 boxes out, and then I can say, right, you process with this kind of energy. And he processes, right, I need to distinguish the two. He processes with 4 parts, and there's only 4 parts, female energy. But that doesn't detract from him being a man. That's masculine. You can get a woman born with all male energy, but that's always sort of been accepted, and tomboys and that people have looked over this, but not boys are not allowed to do this.
Right.
His father was very clever. He sort of caught him when he was young and said, hang on, you can't be a hairdresser. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to be your coach. And gently steered him off in the way of soccer. And he has a very good pin code for a sports person, but he needs to be led into it. He won't just go and do it. Now, you don't play rugby here, so I can't talk about...
No, but I did notice you called soccer, not football. That was good. You know what country you're in. Yeah.
And I know you play a different kind of football, or we call rugby.
Right.
And the All Blacks, when they were in the last World Cup, got knocked out and they had to be sent home. And I don't know if this was printed, so I can talk about it. About 80% of them were in therapy for 6 months, in depression and crying because they had lost. But they had been motivated. And when I looked at their pin codes, they too were carrying a lot of female energy. So when you see a man crying easily, that means he's got female energy. It's the ones at the top. But now I've got some news for the woman, all right? These women who are standing saying, you need to get in touch with your female or your feminine side to me. And who that is the woman with all the male energy trying to put the men down below them so they can take over, and they're using that kind of weapon or tool. And we had a discussion. I'm not going to go into the detail because I don't want to name names. And there's a kind of sense in the United States, and we get a lot of in South Africa, a lot of television from the States. We have done since we've had television.
Yeah.
And there's certain people who deal with conflict resolution.
Oh, I think I know who you're alluding
to.
Okay.
And I've watched it, and I've done my own investigation with people on a one-on-one, and I just said, all I need is an opinion. I don't want a generalization or a judgmental. I just need an opinion. What do you think? And it comes out all the time, especially in enlightened or spiritual people see this so easy, is that the man is being put down because the woman is feeling bad. And then you need to be a man and take the man's place. Meantime, the roles are reversed. The woman has got all the male energy and the man the female energy. And he is now expected to play this part. This crushes the person. Now again, I'm going to say that doesn't detract from a man's, or those with female energy, being masculine. He's a man and he has functions, and these are the greatest sportsmen you can find because that's what they're good. Female energy is very quick thinking. Male energy is very logic and process, so we need to work it out step by step by step. So I'm not saying they're not good sports people, but they're in the sports arena. If you know how to do this, you can place your team and the thinkers and the logistics and the runners. And you'll see every good team when they win and they're on a winning streak, those are where they're out of those dominating or the supporting or the archetype. There's 9 archetypes.
And you say that this helps to establish someone's purpose and path in life?
Oh, one of my biggest, I don't know where to begin with this subject, but I'll try and keep it as close as I can.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake that we make as a human race is that, and I can see in the pin code what your mother wants, because it goes into those kind of levels. We wanted a boy, and here comes a girl. Or we expected a girl, and it's a boy. And because I believe that your journey in the pin code starts with the point of inception, and in the 9 months of gestation is what you're going to learn from your mother. So it's very important what role the father plays in the support, emotional support, the monetary support, and of course the physical support. Because if that's all covered and it's secure and she feels good about it, you have a nice PIN code that comes out. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I've seen PIN codes that operate so depressed, so sensitive to sound, you can't shout at them. They go into depression at a harsh word. And this is the people, you know, if you don't understand how to handle that person, they get crushed.
Say a little more clearly. What is it, you said it clearly, but what is it about the fact that this all starts in utero? What's actually going on?
From day one, when you are conceived, in the whole 9 months gestation period, your mother will choose the day that you're going to be born. And I know that people are going to jump up and say, hang on a second,
right.
What about cesarean? I say, but didn't you talk to the doctor and you picked a day? That's my argument. Induced, didn't you ask the doctor, or you had a discussion with the doctor to induce? You expected this and that. But at the end of the day, when you look at the PIN code, and what I do with people, and when I look at their PIN code, I go and look at what was happening in the mother's pregnancy, because part of the problems that you're sitting with now or trying to resolve issues with is actually from the mother and father during the 9 months. But you don't know about this. Well, you didn't know until you knew PIN codes. And so we have a lot of people who are confused. In fact, 80% of the entire world's population is confused of what they're supposed to do. Now, the PIN code can take you, put you into your type, tell you what archetype you are, and then say, this is the kind of job you should be doing. Now, when I talk to the parents, I tell them that the schooling system was designed 200 years ago to teach children to fit in, or educate them to fit into an industry, which was the Industrial Revolution. That's over and done. Bill Gates once said, we don't know what the next generation is and what we're going to be doing, but the person who can find it is going to have the answer to what we need. But if we don't get it in time, this world is in peril, because there's nothing to continue, there's nothing to evolve to.
So discovering what PIN code you are helps you discover your archetype? Is that what it is?
Yes.
And then by discovering your archetype, you're doing what you're more cut out to be doing in this life if you're following that? Is that kind of the way?
Absolutely, because when you find out what you're designed to do, it becomes your passion. And when you're living your passion, you're actually not really working, because you're enjoying what you're doing. And if you're really living your passion to the fullest, your passion pays you, because it will support you. And we have so many people walking around who are dropouts, who, I was in Turkey, I think we spoke about this.
You're big in Turkey.
Yeah, very big.
Yeah, this is how did it come to be, of all places, that you're big in Turkey? And you also have a kind of a college there to help.
Institute to help people. We have people there running that.
But to learn PIN code, you have a full-time setup.
They're going a 3-year course.
Yeah.
To learn PIN codes.
Why Turkey? How did that wind up happening?
What happened was somebody got a plane in South Africa to fly to New York and bought the book at the bookstore in South Africa. And of course, you know, it's a long journey, and they'd read the whole book on the plane and got to New York and phoned a friend in Turkey and said, you have to read this book. It's the answer I've been looking for, but you have to have this book. She went on to have a look and said, I can't find it. So her friends posted the book to her in Turkey. She has a friend who is a publisher, and she read the book and went and said, you have to publish this book in Turkish. So they tried to contact, they couldn't get him. One day I happened to answer the phone, but he should have gone to my publisher. And I answered, and I spoke to her, and she sent the books. I went to Turkey. I've now been 22 times. And I've made a lot of nice friends there.
Yeah, you've been on some television in Turkey.
Yeah, I've got a lot of television with some stories.
Yeah.
But then I've got 3 books in the series, which is the Human PIN Code, which is what I suggest people read. And then what I did was, my books are registered in Washington, D.C. I have a firm of lawyers who look after my intellectual property in Washington, D.C. And one of the people who I interact with a lot of the time is probably the greatest skeptic of print codes ever. And over the last 10 years, he would drop questions in or send me, like a cryptic question. But I mean, I can see through it. It's like a veiled, but it's a test, you see. And I will just answer according to what the print code says. Until a point came where I helped him almost survive the economic crisis because he was about to go into business. I said, don't do this because the whole world's ready for an economic crisis. So if anybody wants to know when the next one is, 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So watch for that day.